I'd like to call Butte-Silver Council of Commissioners regular meeting for Wednesday, May 7th, 2025 to order. Clerk, could we please have roll call?
10 present, 2 absent.
10 present, 2 absent. Please note that Commissioner Morgan and Commissioner Thatcher are excused from tonight's meeting. Commissioner Walker, could you lead us in the prayer and the pledge? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, we'll move on to any public comment on any item on the agenda today. So if you'd like to come forward to speak on any item on the agenda, please come forward, state your name, your address, and what you'd like to speak about. And I would like to let you know that we'll limit you to 3 minutes, okay? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Clark. Is there any other public comment on any item on the agenda tonight?
Ooh. Howdy, Reddy Frost, 2000 Roberts Avenue. Just some clarification comments. Communication 2025-213. What is a new digital scores table? I'm just curious about that. And then 2025-220, the State Active and Independent for Life grant funding. $1,200 does not seem like a lot. I'm just curious about what that is. Hopefully you guys are too. And then, sorry. Yes. 2025-228. Believe no, never mind. Sorry. Yeah, it's 2025-230. The death benefit claim for Butte-Silver to receive life insurance. That it seems weird when I read that out loud. Maybe we just need a little bit of clarification on that. I believe that's all of the questions that I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Frost. Is there any other public comment on any item on the agenda? Seeing none, I'll move to the approval of the minutes for the April 23rd, 2025 regular meeting. Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. At this time, I would make a motion to approve the minutes from the April 23rd, 2025 regular meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from April 23rd, 2025. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
Ten yeas, 0 nay.
10 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. We don't have any items not addressed on the agenda tonight, so we'll move to the Chief Executive's report. I'll be fairly brief because I think we have some people in the audience that would like to speak. So as you know, there was an announcement as of Friday that the EPA Community Change Grant was terminated for our community hub. We do have some processes to move forward. There's a 30-day appeal process that we will be going down that path, making sure that we meet the obligation of that. We also, as things progress, if that is not successful, we will continue to fight for this cause. We believe that grant was fairly awarded to Butte-Silver. Of course, many people know at the federal government level there's a lot of things going on there, but there are some already judge decisions in different jurisdictions that have been that have had stays of funding that have said that they have to put the funding back in, and so we will look at how those cases progress as well, and we will be pursuing every avenue that we can to that. The disappointment of this is that it's not just the EPA grant funding. It was the match that the Dennis and Phyllis Washington Foundation that they were matching to this, and just moving forward and what it meant to the community. And so this isn't over. I think we have a path forward to try to work down this path to get that grant back in order. As you know, the legislative session sine died, and so now there's still a lot of work to be done, and as things get passed onto the governor's desk and get signed or vetoed, or that he doesn't sign them, and they get put into law without signature, we don't have a lot of information, different things that have already gone. House Bill 2 does have a significant amount of money that is in there for the correction system, $250 million, but there's also $50 million in there for Highlands College to be located up at Montana Tech. So I think some of the writing is on the wall of what their intent is of wanting to locate a women's prison here. So we will stay on top of this to figure out what's going to happen as we progress through with that, and ask the state to come and answer many questions to this body as this goes forward. But it can be a really good thing for Montana Tech. I will say that, locating Highlands College up on Montana Tech, if they're able to locate those facilities up there and have those kids on campus with the other kids. So we'll see how that works and progresses as we move forward. Because we have a lot of people in the audience today, I'm going to move forward, and we're going to move Section 3 ahead of Section 2 tonight. And Section 3 is communications to be read and acted upon. First communication there is communication number 2025-219. Ed Lester, Sheriff, requesting Council of Commissioners concurrence with the law enforcement promotions of Brian Sullivan, Josh Stearns, Bryce Foley, Matt Saylor, Jim Duddy, Chris Snyder, Ryan Fallon, Chris Tierney, and Tyler Costello. And if I said your name wrong, please forgive me, as I think I did. But I would invite Sheriff Ed Lester to come forward and speak on this.
Mr. Chief Executive, members of the council, for the record, I'm Ed Lester, Butte-Silver Sheriff. Tonight I have the privilege of coming to the council to recognize and introduce 9 individuals who've earned promotions within the law enforcement department. These 9 officers have earned their promotions through the testing and evaluation with the Law Enforcement Commission and through our own internal evaluation process in accordance with the charter. I'll introduce these guys and have them come up, and then hopefully with your concurrence we'll get out of here and take some pictures in the hallway before we start celebrating. If you guys just come forward when I call your name. Detective Lieutenant Brian Sullivan. These are the ranks of they earned through the promotional process. Detective Lieutenant Josh Stearns, Patrol Lieutenant Bryce Foley, Patrol Lieutenant Matt Saylor, Patrol Lieutenant Jim Duddy, Detective Sergeant Chris Snyder, Patrol Sergeant Ryan Fowling, Patrol Sergeant Chris Tierney, and Patrol Sergeant Tyler Costello. I'm happy to present you with each of these officers. They've earned their promotions through their hard work and their dedication to the citizens of Butte-Silver Bow. Each of these men has had to do things and see things that no one should ever have to do or see. The only thing that's sure as we stand here tonight is they will have to do those same things again and see those same things that nobody should have to do or see. This is a tough job. It's hard on officers and it's hard on the families of the officers. So to the families and friends that are here and those who are not able to attend tonight, I'd like you to stand and be recognized because this is as tough on you as it is on these guys.
So with the families, please stand of any of the officers that are here.
Thank you. These are the people who keep us grounded. As I said, these are the people who keep us grounded and support us through the inevitable times during this profession when it's a lot easier to quit than it is to keep going. I'm proud of every single officer who has the courage to put a badge on their chest and protect the citizens of Butte-Silver Bow. And tonight I'm especially proud of these 9 officers who will lead this department into the future with their courage and their commitment to this profession, and they will make you proud as well. I ask for your concurrence in the promotions of these 9 officers. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff Lester. Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. At this time, it's my honor to concur and place on file with communication number 2025-219.
We have a motion and a second to concur and place on file communication number 2025-219. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
Ten yeas, 0 nay.
10 yeas, 0 nay. Motion passes. Congratulations, gentlemen. So as the guys leave, I just want to say before they leave, I want to thank every one of you for the work that you do. It makes me proud. My father was a police officer. It's humbling, and I know the work that you go and the families that are here tonight. Thank you so much for your support there, because there is a lot of stress and pressure on those families as well. But the work that you guys do is thankless many times, but you are appreciated, and I know that our citizens are better because of the people that we have leading our department. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive, members of the council. We're going to go down to the first floor. I didn't take the rest of the night off. I'll be back.
Thank you, Sheriff Lester. All right. Moving on to section 1, bid openings. We have 2 tonight, communication number 2025-202 and communication number 2025-215. Well, do we have the county attorney here? Oh, right. Okay. Right. County Attorney Enruth, do we have proof of publication?
Chief Executive Gallagher, yes, we approve publication.
Thank you. So we'll go to the first one, communication number 2025-202, Mark Neary, Public Works Director, requesting Council of Commissioners authorization to schedule a bid opening for May 7, 2025 for the 2025 Road Division Chip Seal Project. Director Neary.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Looks like we have 3 bids. The first one is from American Road Maintenance out of Tucson, Arizona.
Sign it. Right here. Here it is. Chief Executive Gallagher, I have a bid bond in the amount of 10% of the bid.
Thank you, County Attorney Enruth.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioners, the total bid price is $367,407.60. 367,407.60.
That's $367,407.60.
The second bid is from Jeffrey Contracting out of Butte.
Chief Executive Gallagher, I have a bid bond in the amount of 10% of the bid.
Thank you, County Attorney Enruth.
Chief Executive Gallagher, the total bid price on this is $275,555.70. 275,555.70.
That's $275,555.70.
The third bid is from Hollow Contracting out of Butte.
Chief Executive Gallagher, I have a bid bond in the amount of 10% of the bid.
Thank you, County Attorney Enruth.
Chief Executive Gallagher, the total bid price is $305,946.59. 305,946.59.
That's $305,946.59.
Yes.
So Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. For the public's reference, the engineer's estimate on this was $250,000. At this time, I would make a motion to refer the bids associated with communication number 2025-202 to the Public Works Department for their review and recommendation back to this body.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to refer back to the Public Works Department. Is there anything on the question? Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you very much, Chief Executive. Commissioner Shea stole my thunder with the engineer's estimate. But with that in mind, all of these came in well over that 250 mark. What was the budget here, budgeted for this project?
Commissioner Anderson, Director Neary.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Anderson, we had sufficient funds for the chip seal. It's part of the chip seal and the road maintenance, or not the road maintenance fund, but out of our road fund. We weren't sure on the prices. We went off of last year's engineer's estimate for the prices, and that's why
Okay.
we weren't really sure what the price of oil was going to be this year.
No, so that's the main.
We have sufficient funds for the project.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Anderson. Any other questions of commissioners? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
Ten yeas, 0 nay.
10 yea, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to item number 2, communication number 2025-215. Karen Burns, Community Development Director, requesting council commissioners to schedule a bid opening on May 7, 2025 for the courthouse restroom renovation project Phase 2. Do we have Director Burns? Okay.
There we go. Yeah, we have 2 proposals. Looks like the first one is from Langless and Associates. I'm trying to see which one it is. There we go. That's a lot of writing.
Chief Executive Gallagher, we have a bid bond amount in the amount of 10% of the bid.
Thank you, County Attorney Andrews.
Thank you. The first bid from Langless and Associates of 101 East Park Street in Butte, Montana is $747,197. $747,197.
That's $747,197.
And the second bid is from BMY Construction. And for the record, their address is 120 West Granite Street in Butte, Montana.
Chief Executive Gallagher. Commissioners, Chief Executive Gallagher, there's a bid bond in the amount of 10% of the total bid.
Thank you, County Attorney Andrews.
Thank you. And this bid is for $794,000. $794.
That's $794,000.
Yes.
That's correct. Okay. Commissioner Shea.
I'd like to yield to Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you very much, Chief Executive. By way of Commissioner Shea, I noticed the engineer estimate here, Director Burns, for 600. Again, this is well over the engineer's estimate. Is that just a continued price of materials, and how will that affect the budget of these projects moving forward?
Commissioner Anderson, Director Burns.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Anderson, members of council. So I based the engineer estimate off of a range that we had received from our partners here, and I just picked the low end. So we did have a range that we had received, and it was between 600 and 750,000-ish. So I think we're in with what we thought we might be. So we'll take a look at these and understand what we need to do to be able to go forward.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Anderson. Any other questions of commissioners? Commissioner Shea. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Thank
O'Neill.
you, Chief Executive. I just questioned, this is for the second floor, if you said that, thank you.
Thank you, Chief Executive, Commissioners. Was that you, Commissioner O'Neill? Yes.
That was Commissioner O'Neill.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
I had my back to you. I assumed that was you. So this is for the second and third floor public
Third floor,
restrooms.
Yeah.
So 4 total bathrooms.
Thanks, Commissioner. Okay, thank you. Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. At this time, I would like to refer the bids associated with communication number 2025-215 back to the Community Development Department for their review and recommendation back to this body.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to send the communication back to Community Development Department for review of the bids. Is there anything on the question? Commissioner O'Neill.
Thank you. Just have to give a shout out to Mr. Jim Fisher for these beautiful bathrooms. Hats off to you. Thank you. And
Thank you, Commissioner O'Neill. So we have a motion and a second. Is there anything else on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
Ten yeas, 0 nay.
10 yea, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to public hearings, we have one tonight. First one is item number 3, communication number 2025-203. Angie Mulligan, Public Works Budget Manager, requesting Council of Commissioners authorization to schedule a public hearing May 7th for the purpose of amending the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget to allow for increased expenditures of unanticipated revenue. This is to allow for the purchasing of a replacement carousel kiddie slide at Ridge Waters. Do we have Ms. Mulligan here? Okay. We have Budget Director Hassler here. Budget Director Hassler. Yeah, are you-
Good evening, Chief Executive Gallagher and members of council. This public hearing is asking permission to amend the fiscal year 24-25 budget to, it's not for unanticipated revenue, it is an allocation of reserves. The kiddie slide at the pool has begun to fail, and in order to replace it, the company that originally manufactured the kiddie slide is requiring a half-down deposit to create a new slide, a replacement slide that won't be ready until next year. And so we're just asking to allocate reserves from the capital improvement budget for Ridgewaters to allow us to put the 50% down without jeopardizing some other funds that we have there for replacement of a pump, just because the pool is just beginning to open. In the next month, they'll start filling it, and in case of an emergency replacement of the pump, we don't want to have to come back in June under that short time period between June 1st and the end of the fiscal year to ask for any potential reserves. So we're just asking for the increased allocation of the reserves.
Thank you, Director Hassler. Is there any questions of commissioners? I will say this, that it's hard to say this, but the pool's been open for a number of years already, and so we'll have some of those replacement costs that come along with this. And as I said, the pool, that slide is not any danger to the kids or anything. It's just aging out, and the wear has come through, so it won't get there till next year. But this gets them so it's in the process, and it'll be ready to go for next year. So just to clarify that. So, thank you, Director Hassler. So with that, oh yes, Commissioner, our County Attorney Andrews, do we have proof of publication?
Chief Executive Gallagher, yes, there was proof of publication.
Thank you, County Attorney Andrews. With that, I'll open the public hearing. First call for proponents.
Freddie Frost, 2000 Roberts Avenue. I'm in favor of this. The kids need the water slides. Need to stay outside and off tablets.
Thank you, Mr. Frost. Second call for proponents. Third and final call for proponents. Next, I'll move to opponents. First call for opponents. Second call for opponents. Third and final call for opponents. I'll close the public hearing. Next, we'll move on to presentations. Item number 4, communication number 2025-189. Kristen Rosen, Community Development Director Coordinator, requesting Council of Commissioners authorization to schedule a presentation for May 7, 2025 to give a presentation of the annual reports for the URA, HAS, South Butte TED, and the Montana Connections TED. So do we have Community Development Manager Rosa and Community Development Director Burns with us?
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher, members of council. I am Karen Burns, Director of Community Development. For those of you who are new to the council, this is something you will see every year and look forward to, I'm sure. Our reports that we give for all of our economic development districts that include a tax increment provision. We are required to give this annual update to you by state law, and so here we are to tell you all the wonderful things that we're doing in our economic development districts. So we have 4 active districts within our community that utilize tax increment financing. The first district is the Urban Revitalization Agency. This district was created originally in 2014, and last year we talked to you about our plans to expand that district boundary, and which we did, and that was completed earlier this year, or actually last year, I guess. No, it was this year that we completed it. Yep, whoops. expanded in 2024. We also have a South Butte Targeted Economic Development District, and this district was also expanded. Our Harrison Avenue district was established in 2019 and is rolling along. And then the Montana Connections Targeted Economic Development District had a base year of 2023 as well. This district is in the same place basically as the district that sunset, but was also changed the footprint and was expanded to include some additional property to the south, which is owned by the state of Montana. We also have 3 districts that are continuing to function within our community. They are just no longer collecting tax increment. These districts are ones where we have revolving loan funds that are continuing to revolve within those districts. The Urban Revitalization Agency, URA 1, sunset in 2013. Our loan funds continue to revolve in that district. The East Butte Revitalization Rehabilitation Agency, RRA, that TIF provision sunset in 2020, and we do have a loan fund that continues to revolve within that district and a few projects that are still finishing up. And then we also have what we referred to as the TIFID, the Tax Increment Financing Industrial District, and that provision sunset in 2022 and does have a revolving loan fund that's continuing in that district. Again, as I mentioned, we do have loan funds within those districts that are continuing to revolve. Just want to give you a little bit of an idea of what's available in those districts. The URA number 1, that tax increment expired in 2013, but we were very successful in growing our loan program within that district. And we have dispersed over $7.2 million to over 50 loans within that district. We have about $2.8 million ready, available to lend right now. And these funds revolve and generate interest and are very successful for our district. We have loans that are very, very small to very, very large for different size projects when they're needed. And a very good track record. We have a great portfolio. We've only had 2 loans go bad that we've had to do a settlement agreement on or collect on. So that's pretty good. We also have the East Butte RRA tax increment provision that has a revolving loan fund, much smaller available to lend, about $86,000 available within that district. But we have 2 loans in that district that we put out for over $300,000 total. That we're building and continuing to revolve within that district. TIFID number 2, that expired in 2022. We have 1 loan out, very important loan, for $1.4 million, and we have about $275K available in that fund to continue to loan. For those of you who are seasoned council members, this is our lovely graph that tells you how tax increment works. And so not to get into too much detail, but really when you are looking at creating one of these economic development districts, you're looking for an area that has a decreasing tax base. Tax values are declining in that district for whatever reasons might be happening there. Vacancies, extensive blight within the area, or lack of infrastructure to develop and create jobs within the area. And so that's when you look at creating one of these districts and implementing tax increment financing. Hopefully you catch it just about where it says that blue line where it says base. Hopefully you establish your district in a timely manner where that's where you're hitting that time frame when things are declining, and then you are able to start revolving funds into that district, investing and creating a greater value than would have been created had you never established the district. That's the goal of this. And so I put a little example to the one side, tax increment financing in the Harrison Avenue Urban Renewal District. When we established that district, the base value in 2019 was $3.8 million. And we just, as example, we talked about, our partnerships with Cornerstone Plaza. Their property at that time in 2019 had a value of $53,568. Through our efforts to try to encourage development within the area, entering into development agreements, which have passed through this body, to incentivize development and pay back people basically a portion of the property taxes that they are going to pay to us. That's what those developments are based off of. We're increasing the property tax value within that area. And so in 2024, we had a value of $5,552,000. So quite a big increase in the taxable value within that area in that 4-year period. Cornerstone Plaza at the time in 2024, when we looked at their value, this does not include any of the buildings that have been built on the site or any of the infrastructure that's been put in. It was basically just the dirt. Then when they filled the hole, had already increased the value of that piece of property to $105,000. This is taxable value, mind you. This is not any sort of market value at all. But the incremental increase of 1.7 million is what we then apply our mill value to understand what the increment is that we can actually invest back into that district. So you would multiply that 1.7 by about 0.611, and that would be the amount of increment we could conceivably collect within the district to invest back in. I know that's a lot. If anybody wants to talk about tax increment more than this slide, give us a call. We're happy to talk about it anytime. We love this stuff. We nerd out on it all the time. So happy to do that. One thing that we like to call out every time we give this presentation and we talk about it is there's no financial effect on individual property owners of creating this district and implementing tax increment financing. It is not a new property tax. It only affects the way we collect the dollars on the back end after they come to Butte-Silver Bow. As always, the taxes are paid at the base value for the property, including all any new improvements, and the property owners benefit in the area because of the improvements that are made in and around them. It brings all rising tides sort of situation, lift all boats. How tax increment can be spent. These are in the Montana Code. Funds can be spent within the district boundaries. There is an exception in that little tiny fine print that says, except for connecting infrastructure. So if you were going to bring infrastructure from outside the district boundary in, you can pay for that to happen if you were extending a sewer line or a water line. Urban Renewal District funds focus on eliminating blight, and Targeted Economic Development District funds are focused on industrial infrastructure. And then we have administrative costs can be paid from this increment as well, and then various administrative arrangements throughout the state for the administration of these districts. Butte-Silver Bow, we do it in-house with our own staff. And then we also have districts across the state of Montana that contract it out to an outside entity that then manages the district for the local government or the local jurisdiction. So the role of the council in all of these districts is that you definitely review our budgets every year that we turn into you and go through that approval process. And that's and of course the claims come through our budget process as well. So that gives us great internal controls and transparency of our funds. I will mention that each one of our districts has its own advisory board. So we have an advisory board that is focused just on that district, and they make decisions, and those meetings are public meetings. They're noticed and held, and we discuss every single project that we look at funding at those meetings, and they are held monthly as long as we have business. Sometimes we don't have business, so there is no meeting, but we do make those notices. Real quick, and then I'm going to turn it over to Pauline Giacomino, who is our Urban Revitalization Financial Project Manager. We have tax increment programs that our boards have adopted, and these programs for the URA and Harrison Avenue are focused on blight, and the programs that we use are grants of 25% up to qualifying costs. We do have loans. We focus in the URA Uptown area on existing historic district and preservation. And then we also focus down on the Harrison Avenue district on economic development and business enhancement in the retail corridor. The goals and objectives of these districts were outlined in the plans that were adopted through ordinance and had a lot of public input. So that's how we come up with these, like, where are we going to focus? The South Butte and Montana Connections, TED, they really focus on infrastructure grants. They do have a loan program, as we talked about, feasibility assistance, and they focus on retention, expansion of existing industry, and recruiting new businesses to our community. Now I'm going to turn it over to Pauline, and we're going to talk a little bit about each district.
So Director Burns, do you want to ask a question now on what, Director Burns? Commissioner Callahan has a quick question for you.
Thank you, Chief Executive. Ms. Burns, the URA in the Uptown area sunset in 2013, and it says it has 2.8 million available. Could you explain how that works if it's sunset back when, please?
Commissioner Callahan, Director Burns.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Callahan, members of the council. What I was referencing with those numbers was our revolving loan program. And those are the numbers that are available from that revolving loan program. When a district establishes a revolving loan fund, you transfer money into the fund, and then if the district sunsets, Montana law allows us to continue to use those loan funds into perpetuity within the district boundaries for the original purpose. So it's very smart to establish a revolving loan fund when a TIF provision is sunsetting so that we can continue to do work within those districts through the use of loans.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director Burns.
Thank you.
Commissioner Healy has a question.
I just was wondering what industrial infrastructure is.
Commissioner Healy, Director Burns.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Healy, members of council. Industrial infrastructure can be anything from roads, sewer lines, water lines, broadband, lighting, stormwater systems, just to name a few.
Thank you, Director Burns.
Rail lines, I should say rail lines,
Yeah, rail
very
lines as
important for
well.
industrial.
Yeah, thank you. And welcome, Pauline.
Okay, I will talk about the URA District Number 2, and that's one that's current running, and this is the map of what we had amended all the way up until Platte Street. So right now for the URA 2, I actually put in the loan funds that is for URA number 1, but we kind of run it with the grant program at the same time. The boundaries are just a little bit different. So right now we have 143 active grants, and 1.5 million of those grant funds have been awarded in the fiscal year of 2024. And the investment of those grants has been over 8.3 million for those projects. We have spent $1.7 million in paying back those grants. Some of those grants will run into the next year where we don't pay them until the project is complete and it's passed, you know, all the inspections and everything that is needed in order to be able to pay out those funds. And this is we have 32 active loans right now, and that is for the URA District 1. We have not made up a URA loan program for the 2 right now. So we have a balance right now of $4.5 million, and as Karen had discussed, this is it's a healthy loan. We've been having consistent payments. There's, knock on wood, nobody's in default at this point. And with the Uptown Master Plan implementation, right now we're continuing to work on those projects just through the Butte-Silver Bow, and the URA is helping fund, you know, with other possible programs to get that going and to continuously work on that. And now we just have some pretty pictures of things that we've assisted with. So for the Uptown Master Plan, we helped with the trail arch at the Sioux Park, which is located right above the original mine yard between Montana and Woolman Street. And then these are our crosswalks that we helped put into place. Is one of our main goals in the Uptown Master Plan is walkability in Uptown so that we can make some of those businesses up there healthy. We also have a sidewalk program where we assist in vaulted sidewalks and any other kind of sidewalks, but this one was at the Motel 6, and it was just a mess. It was a huge program, and that's just some of the things that we can assist with the URA funds. And we have we helped with the M&M, the signage, and getting that vaulted sidewalk completed and the retaining wall put back up so that people couldn't peek through. We assisted with the new construction of Clearwater Credit Union, the roof at the Covalite, and then there's before and after pictures of 501 West Park. That was going to be a demo, and they ended up basically gutting the whole place and rebuilding. And now we have one of the Harrison Avenue districts is another district that I work, and that map usually goes right before Star Lanes and then Sampson Street, which is right after Dewey. We have, for fiscal year 2024, we have awarded $250,000 in grants. There's 5 active projects. We also have awarded $750,000 in development agreements, and those are 2 different development agreements, where the investment in those projects for this fiscal year is over $35.7 million just in the Harrison Avenue district. So that next year when it gets assessed is probably going to be a pretty healthy increment there. And so we've paid out $240,000 to those projects. Here's some of the projects that we have worked on. There is attainable housing on Meadowlark and Cordell Road for senior citizens. That one's almost done. That was a huge project for us. We're really proud of getting some housing. And then we also have GM and the new development of Cornerstone Plaza, where you see is just dirt, and now there's some action going on there, and our Tractor Supply. And now I will hand it over to Kristen.
Thank you, Ms. Giacomino. Welcome, Ms. Rosa.
Thank you. So I deal with the targeted economic development districts for industrial development. So we have 2 of those. So the South Butte TED was created in 2017. Base value 1.3 million, current value 2.1. So we have projected revenue of $445,000. One of our first projects was to create an infrastructure analysis. We did that. The first project we took on was North Parkmont, and now we are looking to take on sidewalks. And of course, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So there's some pictures of North Parkmont before, which it was miserable. And now we have sidewalks on both sides. It was a great improvement, and we were able to get that completed last year. And like I said, we just put out an RFP to do the sidewalks, to do a sidewalk trail all the way down Basin Creek, so we can try and connect along Harrison Avenue and Basin Creek, which that's connecting infrastructure also. So we can do the sidewalk that is outside of the district. And then the one that you probably know a little bit better, Montana Connections, which used to be TIFID number 2. And this one, so this year we tried to get people, or we're trying to let people know that even though a district sunset, we do still have some projects and then loan funds and things like that. So this slide I'm going to try and divide out or tell you kind of what's going on. So TIFID number 2 still has some existing projects. There are some funds allocated to these projects. So DeVal, Sean Paris, who is looking to do a cold storage warehouse. Montana Craft Malt, we have a grant for them outstanding to work on their industrial waste management. We have a grant with the Greenway, and we have the grant with the port that are still outstanding from TIFID number 2. Projects that were finished in 2024 or working on, or were started in 2024, Saya Freight, ADM Distribution, Empire Building Materials, which was completed, and the National Guard Readiness Center, which was completed. Projects that have started this year, Western States, which is Rocky Mountain Traffic Control, and Town Pump Distribution Facility, and then the new projects that we haven't seen any construction started on, but we have entered into agreements. Faradyne, which is a biochar company, Sonata, which is the silicone nanode particle for EV batteries, and then Horizons Montana, which we discussed, is the data center. This district is just going to eke along, I think, for a little while because we get about $100,000 in increment in this first year. It'll be interesting to see what happens this year because we have seen a few projects completed. And again, pictures are worth 1,000 words. So, but I did go out there today, and if you like to see big equipment, construction equipment moving, you should go out there because there is a little bit going on everywhere. Western States has started, Saia Freight, they're still working on finishing up. I think they need to be finished up this summer. Town Pump, that's a pretty big fuel distribution center that they're going to build out there, about $27 million. ADM is working on finishing up. National Guard finished and opened this fall, and Empire Building Materials just opened at the end of the year. And I don't know about you, but what Empire did was pretty impressive. They brought in rail, and their yard is already completely full. So this is just an aerial view of the district to kind of help you know where those projects are. The legislative session did wrap up. We had 5 bills that we were watching for tax increment. The first one just changed the definition of blight. We were in support. The governor has signed it. Senate Bill 2 would have affected how, at the sunset of a district, how tax increment would have been treated in the city county's budget. It would have been fairly detrimental to the city counties if you had a district of any size. It died because it got tied to Senate Bill 117, so it did not get passed because Senate Bill 117 got passed, which deals with how cities and counties are going to budget. Senate Bill 3 changed advisory boards to include a county representative and a school representative. We already do that, so it won't affect us. We did support it. House Bill 19 requires a public hearing if a district is going to go out for any bonding. We supported that. The governor has signed it. House Bill 451 was really cleanup language to help understand what mills are included in increment and what mills aren't included in increment. The House passed a bill. The Senate modified the bill or amended the bill on the floor. They were going to go to conference committee. They sine died, so that one died in the process, and so we still have unclear language out there. So this is in the CAFR, but this is required as part of our annual report, so I'm not going to go over it because I'm really putting it in there to meet the measure of the Montana Code. So but with that, we will take questions.
Thank you, Ms. Rosa. Any questions of commissioners? Commissioner Callahan.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. Ms. Rosa, I know back a few years ago you were working on incorporating some of that Salvi property. Have you made any progress on that, or where's that at?
Commissioner Callahan, Ms. Rosa.
So Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Callahan, Commissioners, Solvay property has always been included in the district that has the tax increment provision. What we struggle with is it's a CERCLA site, and so, or a RCRA site, and so they are restricted on allowing us to purchase it or develop on it. I would say we have made some progress. They have new leadership out there, and they are very much focused on getting it cleaned up and have been talking to us about what the future use of that property looks like. So a little bit of progress, but nothing concrete at this point.
Okay, thank you. Got one more.
Follow-up, Commissioner Callahan.
I'm not sure who can answer this one, but the URA number 2, I know last year when you guys expanded that, one of the reasons to expand it was we've got that huge chunk of property that ARCO had donated, and it was unsurveyed. So we've had several opportunities to sell off pieces, but we couldn't sell it until we get it surveyed. And that was part of the reason to expand up there, was to put some money in for the survey. Have we gotten the survey yet, or where's that stand?
Commissioner Callahan, Director Burns.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Callahan, members of council. Yes, that is still our plan, is to work through and get that survey done. Our housing plan was significantly tied to this piece of this goal between the URA and the housing plan. So we are going to be meeting with our housing committee on next Monday. And so we're going to be talking about moving some of these projects forward. The URA also has it as a goal in their plan to spend money on this survey and work through that. So it is in process, I would say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Director Burns. Any other questions of commissioners? Commissioner O'Leary. Russell O'Leary.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher. Just a couple quick questions on you mentioned that the boundaries had been expanded on the URA. Are we accepting applications on the expanded boundaries yet?
Commissioner O'Leary, Director Burns.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner O'Leary, members of council. Yes.
Great.
Follow Commissioner O'Leary.
The on the tax increment district out at the Business Connections Park, the National Guard facility, does that the base there get added to the increment if that's a government facility?
Commissioner O'Leary, Ms. Rosa.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner O'Leary, council members. It is included, but they don't pay taxes, so it does us no good, except it's a beautiful building. It allowed us to work with them on purchasing, the center that is down by Stodden Park, and we worked on that. We started that project probably close to 10 years ago now.
Thank you, Ms. Rosa. Follow up, Commissioner O'Leary.
Just one more question about the in the committee meeting before the meeting tonight. We were discussing the possibility of doing like a, there's been a lot of discussion about attracting businesses that we don't already have in town. Wondering if there's any chance of a discussion about having a bonus. We provide 25% of eligible costs, but doing something like a 10% bonus for a business that doesn't already exist in the district. Just an idea. Thought it'd be interesting to have a conversation about it.
So,
Commissioner O'Leary, Ms. Rosa.
I'll just, or Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner O'Leary, I'll just clarify. So in Montana Connections, we actually don't have enough money to do anything at this point to incentivize businesses other than very competitive land prices. And we did not do the 25%. We had a different type of calculation when we did infrastructure grants.
Thank you, Ms. Rosa. Director Burns.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner O'Leary, members of council. Our programs are currently set by our advisory boards, and so that would be something that they could discuss to see if it even made some sense to do and how it would function and how you would determine. But our advisory boards are the ones who set our programs, and they are adopted by that board. So it would be a discussion with our boards.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions of commissioners? Seeing none, thank you for the presentation tonight. All right, moving on to Section 2 consent agenda, A 1 through 4 and B 1 through 27. Do we have any friendly amendments or segregations? Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. Item number 11, communication number 2025-225, we've been asked to pull that from the agenda.
Okay.
So we will strike that from the agenda.
So we're pulling item number 11, communication number 2025-225.
Yes, sir.
That'll be
And I would also like to segregate item number 1, communication number 2025-213.
Okay.
Number 2, 2025-214. 6, 2025-220. And 9, communication number 2025-223. One more. And 16.
Okay.
2025-230.
So those are communication number 2025-213, communication number 2025-214, communication number 2025-223, and communication number 2025-230. Is that correct? Did I get them?
3, 4, 5. I think so.
Okay,
I'll make a
thank you.
motion.
All right. And is there any other friendly amendments and/or segregations tonight? Seeing none, Commissioner Shea.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. At this time, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, A, committee reports 1 through 4, and B, communications 1 through
27.
27. Thank you, with the exception of item number 1, communication 2025-213, item number 2, communication 2025-214, item number 6, communication number 2025-220, item number 9, communication number 2025-223, and item number 16, communication number 2025-230.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve tonight's consent agenda. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
10 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to communication number 1, or item number 1, communication number 2025-213, Bill Melvin, Civic Center Manager, requesting Council of Commissioners authorization to have Chief Executive Gallagher sign an agreement with Harrington Pepsi Bottling Company purchasing a new digital scores table. Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. Thank you, Reddy, for asking the question. I see that the Civic Center Manager is here, and this is a project that he's really looked forward to, so I'd like to give him an opportunity to explain it.
Welcome, Mr. Melvin. There you go.
Mr. Chairman, members of the council, for the record, my name's Bill Melvin. I reside at 911 Montrose, Butte, Montana. I come in my capacity as the Civic Center Manager. Commissioner Shea, you are well-versed in all of the equipment as far as the scorers table go at the Butte Civic Center since you've been keeping score there as long as I've been there for 20 years. We are excited about this project. It comes about, and I very much appreciate the gentleman's question because sometimes there's things that come through here that really don't seem like they're government. The reason why we're doing this is because anything we do in a long-term situation has to come before this body and be approved by this body, allowing the chief executive to sign it. So we're following council rules and our charter. The second thing is this is going to be a very needed item for our venue. We haven't changed our scorers tables since 2000. So the ones we have are 25 years old. This new one is, and the reason why it's called interactive, and I can tell you what interactive is, sir, is if you want to put any kind of advertising on it, if you happen to have watched any of the NCAA tournaments or even of the NBA on now, and you look at their scorers table, they're advertising Ultra, they're advertising all kinds of stuff. This table, the interactive part of it, is going to be used for many things, like more like a reader board for things when stuff are going on in the Civic Center, not necessarily sport items. The other part of it is Harrington Pepsi picking up the bill on it, and it's about $35,000. And for that, they get the advertising. You will see Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, Montana Treasure Water, and in their agreement, they would be our preferred advertiser or preferred pourers, what we would call it. We will continue to pour Coke products, but if something happens to come through the door, we do prefer Pepsi products, Harrington products. And as I'm talking about it, Harrington Pepsi-Cola has been a fabulous partner of ours. They have bought all our chairs, they've bought all the screens you see in the concessions. They are very good about supporting the Civic Center, and on the other side of things, we sell a lot of their product. So we consider ourselves partners with them. So, but anyhow, we're excited. More good news on the Civic Center. Hopefully we get it done. We're going to get a new floor. So when we do the Frontier Conference Tournament next year, you'll walk in there, we'll have a scorers table, a new floor, a new scoreboard, fairly new scoreboard. It'll look like really a first-class facility. So we're very excited.
Thank you, Mr. Melvin. And we won't be advertising Ultra.
Well, you see it show up there. I got a soft spot.
Just have that. Make
But
sure
if you
we say
see,
that.
if you watch any of the NBA
I've
games?
seen that.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
they
will.
absolutely do.
Okay.
Yeah, but locally, we will not be. All right, but thank you for everything you do there, and that's a great explanation. So Commissioner Shea?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive, and I just want to echo your comments. I've worked basketball games and tournaments at the Civic Center for 20 years, and what I hear consistently from around the state and the people that come to Butte for events is the Civic Center is the best place in the state to play basketball. It's also the best venue in the state to watch basketball. And it's really, we have great staff down there. So with that, I will make a motion to concur and place on file with communication number 2025-213.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to concur and place on file communication number 2025-213. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
10 yeas, 0 nay.
10 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to item number 2, communication number 2025-214. Fred Clark, President of Homestake Meadows 2 Homestakes Association, requesting Council of Commissioners to add Meadows 2 Homeowners Association to the county solid waste collection system. Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. I had a conversation with the Public Works Director and received some information from Finance and Budget Director Hassler today. It's not necessary for this item to be referred to the Public Works Committee. There is a public process that needs to be started sooner rather than later so that they can go through all of the legal steps that are required for us to add that garbage district to our rolls, and so we can get that on the tax rolls with the next budget. Mr. Neary, would you like to give us a few comments, please?
Thank you, Commissioner Shea. Director Neary.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioners. For the record, I'm Mark Neary, Public Works Director. Mr. Clark's communication came in, and I think Chairman Morgan thought it needed to go to Public Works first, but Mr. Clark has already been in touch with Public Works and our Special Improvement District rate analyst, Emily LaCour. So this is just to get the process started, but we're worried if it goes to Public Works and then comes back, within the next few weeks, we could miss the fall tax rolls. It's kind of a tight schedule. It seems like September's a long time away, but we have to do a resolution of intent, we have to do public hearing, and then mail all the letters to the homeowners out there. It's just a process that we have to go through, so we're just asking to not send it to Public Works Committee.
Thank you, Director Neary. Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Director Neary. I would just like to affirm with the county attorney, we're not breaking any rules.
Commissioner Shea, County Attorney Enruth.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Shea, no, I do not believe you're breaking any rules.
Thank you, County Attorney Enruth. Question from Commissioner Callahan.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. Before you run off, Mark, do you have any distance on how far you're going to have to go to meet, be able to tie this in, or do you have an idea what that's all going to be? Or?
Commissioner Callahan, Director Neary.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Callahan, I'm not sure on the mileage. McGree is picking up out there now, but they're paying the other rate. They want to get into where it's under the county rate. So they're asking about it now, but as far as mileage, I'm not positive. McGree is aware of this is coming.
No. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Callahan. Commissioner Mankins.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher, and thank you, Director Neary. So could you just explain the two rates so people know of the difference of that rate that are out there listening right now?
Commissioner Mankins, Director Neary.
Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Mankins, I believe the rate out there right now that the homeowner pays to McGree is $32 a month. I believe customers through Butte-Silver Bow pay $106 a year, $106.50. And so they'll go on to that rate. And the rates will increase. I just want to let everybody know the McGree contract is up in June, and I'm sure the rates will increase.
Thank you. Good. Any other questions of commissioners? Seeing none. Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. At this time, I would make a motion to concur and place on file with communication number 2025-214.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to concur and place on file communication number 2025-214. Is there anything else on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
Ten yeas, 0 nay.
10 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to item number 6, communication number 2025-220, Karen Malachny, Butte-Silver Bowl Health Officer, requesting council commissioners authorization to apply for the Stay Active and Independent for Life sale grant funding in the amount of $1,200. Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. I just wanted to have an opportunity to talk about, there was a question about the size of the grant being such a small amount of money. It's not unusual for us to apply for any grant we can get our hands on. And so the grant, if Director Hassler would like to just give a short explanation. We love grant money.
Yeah. Thanks, Commissioner Shea and Director Hassler.
There we go. Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Shea, members of council. I just did look up on the State of Montana DPHHS website to see what the sale grant entails. It is a Stay Active and Independent for Life. It's a 12-week balance and fitness program for older adults age 25, and every class focuses on balance, strength, and stretching exercises. So I think that probably what they're looking at is maybe, it says it also includes some bicep curls, maybe some hand weights or smaller weights. So I don't believe it's basically focus more on stretching, and there's probably not a lot of expense related to it, possibly some staff time. But that's as far as everything that I know related to the grant.
Thank you, Director Hassler. Commissioner Shea.
Thank you. Who couldn't use that? I'm going to sign up. Okay. At this time, I would make a motion to concur and place on file with communication number 2025-220.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to concur and place on file communication number 2025-220. Is there anything else on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
Ten yeas, 0 nay.
10 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to item number 9, communication number 2025-223, Cindy Winston, Community Enrichment Director, requesting Council of Commissioners authorization to have Chief Executive Gallagher to sign the professional services agreement between Butte-Silver Bow and CCCS Incorporated for the management and physical side of the 2025 Alley Rally program. This agreement cost is $35,000 and will run from May 13th to August 10th, 2025. Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. I segregated this because the agreement template had an old date listed on it, and I wanted to make the amendment to that agreement that the dates should be reflected with what's in the communication, which is May 13th to August 10th, 2025. So at this time, I would make a motion to concur and place on file communication number 2025-223 as amended.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to concur and place on file communication number 2025-223 as amended. Is there anything on the question? Commissioner Mankins.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher, and thank you for segregating, just to give a little bit of a love to this communication. Our community members are much grateful that this is going to happen again this summer. So the partnership with CCCS and ourselves and Cindy and whoever else, I'm sure Chief Executive Gallagher had some things to do with it, but whoever else was involved with this, it is something that is much needed in our community and very much appreciated by our community members for sure. So thank you all involved.
Thank you, Commissioner Mankins. Is there anything else of commissioners? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
10 yeas, 0 nay.
10 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to item number 16, communication number 2025-230, Karen Hassler, Finance and Budget Director, requesting Council of Commissioners authorization to have Chief Executive Gallagher to sign a death benefit claim form to receive life insurance proceeds on behalf of the Butte-Silver Animal Shelter. Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. I would like Director Hassler to come up and just explain how this works for our animal shelter.
Commissioner Shea, Director Hassler.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Shea, and members of council. Our animal shelter was notified roughly maybe about a month ago that they were named as a beneficiary on a life insurance policy for a recently deceased member of our community. And so this policy requires the signature of an authorized representative of Butte-Silver in order to submit the form to receive the benefits. This benefactor, we recently learned, also has named the animal shelter in another policy. So you will also have another communication coming forward to have Chief Executive Gallagher sign for that as well. So these funds, they're not restricted, but they are named specifically for the animal shelter. So the funds will be used for the operation or remodeling of the shelter.
Thank you, Director Hassler. Is there any other questions of commissioners? Commissioner Shea?
Thank you for that explanation.
Yeah,
it's
that's
wonderful. At this time, I would make a motion to concur and place on file with communication number 2025-230.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to concur and place on file communication number 2025-230. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
10 yeas, 0 nay.
10 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes, and congratulations that the animal shelter has us and people do that, and the love for the animal shelter is shown, so that's pretty awesome. All right, moving on. I don't think we have another segregation. Okay. Moving on to, we've already done section 3, so we'll move on to section 4, ordinances and resolution introduced to judiciary. We have a couple, please note those. And then moving on to section 5, ordinances and resolutions for final reading. We have a couple here. It looks like 5 of them. So the first one is resolution number 2025-10. Clerk, please read the caption.
A resolution amending the budget during the fiscal year after conducting a public hearing at a regularly scheduled meeting of the Council of Commissioners in accordance with Section 7-6-4006 MCA, appropriating unanticipated grant revenue from Montana Disaster and Emergency Services for the purpose of installing an emergency generator at the Butte Civic Center and providing for an effective date herein.
Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. At this time, I would make a motion to place resolution number 2025-10 on final reading and passed, having been deemed fully read at length.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, placing resolution number 2025-10 on final reading. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
10 yeas, 0 nay.
10 yeas, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to item number 2, resolution number 2025-11. Clerk, please read the caption.
A resolution amending the budget during the fiscal year after conducting a public hearing at a regularly scheduled meeting with the Council of Commissioners in accordance with Section 7-6-4006 MCA, appropriating unanticipated grant revenue from the Federal Department of Transportation for the purpose of sending firemen, hazmat technicians to the annual IAFC Hazmat Conference in Baltimore, Maryland, and providing for an effective date herein.
Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. I will make a motion to place resolution number 2025-11 on final reading and passed, having been deemed fully read at length.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place resolution number 2025-11 on final reading. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
10 yea, 0 nay.
10 yea, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to item number, kind of skipped a number, so item number 4, resolution number 2025-14. Clerk, please read the caption.
A resolution amending the budget during the fiscal year after conducting a public hearing at a regularly scheduled meeting of the Council of Commissioners in accordance with Section 7-6-4006 MCA, appropriating unanticipated revenue from the Wildland Fire Deployments Emergency Management Assistance Compacts to California EMAC to be used on the wages and benefits for those members who participated in the deployments and for the equipment purchases for the fire department, and providing for an effective date herein.
Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. I would make a motion to place resolution number 2025-14 on final reading and passed, having been deemed fully read at length.
Second.
We have a motion and a second placing resolution number 2025-14 on final reading. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
10 yea, 0 nay.
10 yea, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to item number 5, resolution number 2025-18. Clerk, please read the caption.
A resolution authorizing and approving the transfer of real property described as Lot 9A of COS 116-7B-RB, located in Section 26, Township 3 North, Range 9 West, Principal Meridian within the City County of Butte-Silver Bow, Faradyne Power Systems, in accordance with the provisions of the Butte-Silver Bow Municipal Code and providing for an effective date herein.
Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. I will make a motion to place resolution number 2025-18 on final reading and passed, having been deemed fully read at length.
Second.
We have a motion and a second placing resolution number 2025-18 on final reading. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
10 yea, 0 nay.
10 yea, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving on to section 6, ordinance and resolutions for emergency suspension of the rules. We have a couple tonight. And so first one is, we have two that will go, resolution number 2025-22 and resolution number 2025-23. Clerk, or should we do the suspension of the rules first without reading, and then we come back and read them?
I think we can read the
Read
titles
first, right, okay.
because the motion
Clerk,
is-
please read the caption.
I'm sorry, Chief, for the emergency suspension or for the resolution?
The resolution.
Okay. For the suspension of the rules for the resolution, yes. So we need to read the resolution number 2025-22, and then
Yep.
Commissioner Shea.
Yeah,
yes.
thank you. So these were on the agenda. What we're doing is suspending the rules to bypass judiciary
Yes.
due to the timeline and
Right.
the corrections that needed to be made.
Yes, correct.
So they were already on the agenda in a timely manner. We're suspending the rules for the
So
procedure.
now we need to read the suspension of the rules and then take action.
He can read the title, and then we'll take
Okay.
action.
Okay. All right, clerk, please read the title.
And just, excuse me, Chief Executive, just for clarification, I'm reading the caption for Resolution 2025-22.
22.
Okay.
Yes.
A resolution amending Resolution 2025-17 to correct revenue and expenditure accounts numbers as reflected on page 2, lines 16 through 20, amending the budget during the fiscal year after conducting a public hearing at a regularly scheduled meeting of the Council of Commissioners in accordance with Section 7-6-4006 MCA, appropriating unanticipated revenue from the Montana State Department of Commerce to the Butte-Silver Bow Community Development Department to be expanded into the Community Development Fund for headframe lighting and providing for an effective date herein.
Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. I just want to clarify for everybody in the room, there's multiple reasons for suspending the rules.
Yeah.
We did not suspend the rules in order to place this on the agenda. It was placed on the agenda when the agenda was initially published and within the timelines, within the 48 hours. What we need to suspend our rules for is because resolutions normally go from the council to the judiciary, back to the council for final passage.
Yes.
And due to the timeline of these projects, this is a minor clerical correction in the information that we went from when we passed this. So that was, the suspension is in order to pass without reference to the judiciary. And I would ask Director Hassler to just explain the change that we made. No?
Commissioner
Director
Shea.
Burns. Director Burns.
Director Burns.
Sorry, thanks.
Thank you, Chief Executive Gallagher, Commissioner Shea, members of council. If you can pick your Karen and we can explain.
Right.
I wanted to explain because the clerical error was on my part when I typed the resolution, the account numbers into the resolution. I transposed a number, and so that made it not quite correct. The intention, the language, the funding source, the amounts are all correct. It was just the account numbers that I typed in incorrectly, so thank you.
Thank you, Director Burns.
And Director Burns, that's for both resolutions? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
Okay.
on this, do we want to read the next caption and then suspend the rules for both of them at the same time? I think
we can do them
we
separate.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So I will move for the suspension of the rules for the purpose of passing resolution number 2025-22 by waiving subsection 7 of Rule 36 of the Rules and Order of Business of the Council of Commissioners, thereby having it considered for advanced passage without reference to the Judiciary Committee.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules for resolution number 2025-22. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
9 yea, 1 nay.
9 yea, 1 nay, motion passes. So would we like to take action on this one, and then we'll go and suspend the rules on the next one? Okay. So move to resolution number 2025-22. Clerk, could you please read the caption?
And I'm sorry, Chief Executive, for 22 again.
22 again, because we have to take action now to pass it.
A resolution amending Resolution 2025-17 to correct revenue and expenditure account numbers as reflected on page 2, lines 16 through 20, amending the budget during the fiscal year after conducting a public hearing at a regularly scheduled meeting of the Council of Commissioners in accordance with Section 7-6-4006 MCA, appropriating unanticipated revenue from the Montana State Department of Commerce to the Butte-Silver Bow Community Development Department to be expanded in the Community Development Fund for headframe lighting and providing for an effective date herein.
Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. Thank you, Mr. Melvin. At this time, I would make a motion to place resolution number 2025-22 on final reading and passed, having been deemed fully read at length.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place resolution number 2025-22 on final read. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
10 yea, 0 nay.
10 yea, 0 nay, motion passes. Moving to resolution number 2025-23. Clerk, please read the caption.
A resolution amending Resolution 2025-16 to correct revenue and expenditure account numbers as reflected on page 2, lines 17 through 21, amending the budget during the fiscal year after conducting a public hearing at a regularly scheduled meeting of the Council of Commissioners in accordance with Section 7-6-4006, MCA, appropriating unanticipated revenue of the Montana State Department of Commerce to Butte-Silver Community Development Department to be expanded in the Community Development Fund for redevelopment of the Phoenix Building and providing for an effective date herein.
Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. I move for the suspension of the rules for the purpose of passing resolution number 2025-23 by waiving subsection 7 of Rule 36 of the Rules and Order of Business of the Council of Commissioners, thereby having it considered for advanced passage without reference to the Judiciary Committee.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the emergency suspension of the rules of resolution number 2025-23. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
9 yea, 1 nay.
9 yea, 1 nay, motion passes. Moving back to resolution number 2025-23. Clerk, please read the caption.
A resolution amending Resolution 2025-16 to correct revenue and expenditure account numbers as reflected on page 2, lines 17 through 21, amending the budget during the fiscal year after conducting a public hearing at a regularly scheduled meeting of the Council of Commissioners in accordance with Section 7-6-4006 MCA, appropriating unanticipated revenue from the Montana State Department of Commerce to the Butte-Silver Community Development Department to be expanded into the Community Development Fund for redevelopment of the Phoenix Building and providing for an effective date herein.
Commissioner Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. At this time, I would make a motion to place resolution number 2025-23 on final reading and passed, having been deemed fully read at length.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place resolution number 2025-23 on final reading. Is there anything on the question? Could commissioners please vote? And would anyone like to change their vote? Clerk, please record the vote.
9 yea, 1 nay.
9 yea, 1 nay, motion passes. Moving on to calendar and other meetings and events, please note the dates and times of those meetings and events. And next we'll move on to any public comment on any item not addressed on tonight's agenda. Seeing none, I'd take a motion to adjourn.
I wanted to do one thing really quick. I want to recognize the people that have been working on the council chambers and the systems here. This is an awful lot of work, and so thank you for improving our environment for ourselves and for the public.
So I think, yeah, the thank you goes out to John Sullivan, his staff, also our IT department, in upgrading the services that we have here. The lighting, everything's going to be better, and it'll be easier to get connected in and the things that they've got going on. So thank you to all of you that are doing that. So thank you for recognizing that, and I appreciate you doing that, Commissioner Shea. So
Now, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. You second it, because somebody already made the motion. Second it. All those in favor signal by aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.